Hey everybody, welcome to the video and welcome to the flea market. Nice morning at the flea market on this day. Nice overcast. I'm biased, but you know, I've lived in California my whole life. I really love it here. I don't really love the high prices, but you know, it's all relative to where you live. But nice, cool late summer mornings. It will get hotter later, but typically the weather here, if you guys are interested, the weather here is typically cool in the mornings, starts to heat up, and then gets nice and cool during the evening. Is typical. We do have heat waves from time to time. I think, you know, that's true everywhere, no matter where you live. But we're not, you know, that close to the coast. I mean, we're closer than most, but it's only probably about a 45-minute drive out to the beach. And that's with traffic. So we're kind of inland, but still we get that nice coastal breeze from time to time. So this is I'm here on a Friday, so I'm gonna go check out the local the vendors that I usually will buy from today. And I think that's what I'll typically do, you know, going forward with these flea market sales. Just kind of hit the vendors. I don't want these, you know, I'm adding some more content towards the end of these videos to try to help people out. Bonus material, you know, we review what we picked up, for sure. And then also just tips and tricks, things to help you guys out if you're experiencing slow sales, if you're just starting out. Definitely drop a comment down below if you guys are interested in any other information. If you have any questions, I can definitely try to help you out. Oh, I'm also on Instagram too, and you can also direct message me there. I'll probably start linking that into the descriptions, but it's gem_flipper, same name, just with the underscore in between the two words. But we're gonna look some stuff up here. I see this Coach purse. I have picked up something in the past. I picked up Coach purses similar lining, similar kind of style. It is a. I was trying to look up the number here. Couldn't really find anything. I know I would get a good price on it. It looked good. The number didn't pull up anything, and it was pretty dirty, so I'm gonna pass it up. I will typically only pull some, you know, I'll look for the number. And if I can't find the number on eBay right off the bat, then, you know, I'll probably move on. And you've seen this vendor's tables, but today I'm not going to pick any up. Matter of fact, the chicken purse I bought from her a couple weeks ago already just sold yesterday, so it took about 2 weeks, and I ended up selling that chicken purse for 20 bucks. Most of my items that are over $20, I will have offers open, so I did take an offer on that. I had it listed for 30, then someone came in offering 20, and it's about what it goes for. It goes for right around between $25 to $30, so I didn't have a problem offering a deal. I'm gonna take off straight down the side. I'm gonna go straight up and check out Lupin's section. But as I'm walking over there, I'm gonna take a look at these vendors. If I do see anything interesting, I will you know, turn the camera on to catch everything with any of these side vendors, people that I don't typically buy from, because you never know who's really going to show up at the flea market. You know, I'm there so much that you know, I get to know who's there. There are some people that only come during the week, that are Wednesday, Thursday, Friday people. Some people on Saturdays. Then Sundays usually, Sundays are the big days, so those are the days when the sellers make most of their money because a lot of sellers, a lot of shoppers, and so I definitely I know more vendors that come on Sunday than during the week. Lupe here, she comes. She's here every day, I believe, except Wednesdays. She's not here. And the first Saturday of the month, she's not here because she's over at another flea market that only happens the first Saturday of the month. But you get to know their locations. Lupe here, she isn't always here at this location. And right here, really quick, I'm going to jump in. I'm finding these coins here. They're Intel, from the company Intel. They look like recognition coins or bucks or something. A lot of companies do this. I know the hospital I work for, they would offer like little bucks or something, and you would get them just by doing good deeds, and you would use them to buy company merch. I'm assuming that's what this is. Now I know you guys have seen this Coke stuff. Coke isn't like crazy good, but it does sell. It is a good name to pick up. It does sell. There are plenty of Coke collectors out there. The market's flooded with Coke stuff. But there's plenty of collectors, that will gobble up this stuff. But most of the stuff was smelling like a smoker's house. So, unless there's something that's just, that's like worth $1,000, $2,000, $1 million in here, I'm not picking it up. I'm trying to, I'm gonna look, but it all reeks of smoke. So as you start to go to the flea markets, you'll learn about where these vendors are at. During the week, Lupe is here in this section. Then on the weekend, she goes over to the opposite side. She has a stall over there on the opposite side that she'll be at. So you get to learn all the people. I highly recommend going to flea markets. One of the places where I get most of my inventory, best inventory, biggest hits come out of the flea market, big bolos come out of the flea market. I found, gold just hidden on the bottom of a bin I bought one time, so it's crazy. But be careful as you're digging through these bins. I don't know if you saw that glass. That glass is broken on the bottom, so be careful as you start digging through bins, because you never know what's at the bottom of these bins.
How much?
Look at this guy. They brought that bin out as I was looking at other stuff, and it had Hello Kitty things in there. Like it was like a little a water dispenser. I'm kind of taking a while here on my phone. I'm just trying to look for those coins, but I'm also kind of delaying things, and I'm looking over and trying to see if there's anything over there that is of interest to me. The guy's gonna end up buying the whole box, so it was, but that little Hello Kitty water dispenser thing, that was pretty cool. I would have probably bought that for sure. I mean, I would have bought the whole box if it was full of Hello Kitty. More dinnerware, tools. I know there's some keyboards down there, but I'm not picking those up. Those are generic. Nothing cool. They're just generic OEM computers, keyboards. Yeah, I'm kind of bummed out I didn't pick up the Hello Kitty, but or I didn't spot it first. But that's the way it goes to the flea market, and it was plastic stuff, so that smoke would penetrate the plastic as well too, and it was pretty intense. I don't buy anything that was from a smoker's usually, because I mean, like, if it's a few $1,000s, I'll pick it up and try to sell it and make sure I let them know that, hey, it's from a smoker's house. Smells of smoke. And you will get questions a lot, especially on like plush. and I've sold some air freshener, not air fresh, air purifiers, and you will get questions on eBay asking you, has this been from a smoker's house? You know, I don't buy smoker stuff anymore. I have attempted in the past to get the smell out. I'm telling you, once it's penetrated anything, even if, no matter how many washes, you can OxyClean it, put the little scent beads in there, anybody with a sensitive nose will be able to pick up that smoker's smell. So, my advice, don't buy smoker stuff. But these are Carhartt overalls. First, I'm looking for the tag. I think the tag must have got ripped off at some point. So I have to kind of like try it on to gauge the size here. But, alright, yeah, I'll do measurements too. But I was quite surprised that the overalls did not smell of smoke. There was no smoke on the overalls. So I'm guessing maybe she has a couple of units here. Maybe one was a smoker's unit, and the other was, well, actually, you know what? That thing reeked of smoke. That little, I remember that military pack thing was smoky, but the overalls were not, which was quite surprising. And right now, I am trying to like get a sense of, you know, when I was trying to move around those things. See, I'm moving it around a little bit. I'm trying to see if I can catch any smoke smell. I don't want to, you know, I don't think they would get offended, but I don't want to, you know, offend the vendors here and be like, start sniffing all their products. That's kind of weird too. So I'm just kind of moving it around, trying to, you know, see if I can get the, you know, the scent in the air so I can pick it up. But no, these were, and I got them home and they're completely clean. I don't know. I don't even think they're freshly washed, but I'm gonna wash them for sure before, you know, before I picture and everything. I'm still gonna look around. Lupe always has some great products. You gotta look around, and you just never know. Never know what's at the bottom of these bins. Be careful too, because there's like knives and stuff. And you saw the broken glass earlier. I'm gonna get those coins. I wouldn't recommend getting those coins to anybody out there. It might be a long tail item. There were no sold comps, but I like to buy a lot of tech stuff. Okay, we're at another vendor here. A little bit further down the way. This guy's been getting some great stuff. Don't typically buy from this side, from this vendor, usually, but I have as of late. And I'm seeing a bunch of cassettes, and I'm seeing sealed cassettes. So, let me tell you. I'm a huge country music fan. I'm a huge fan of all genres. I mean, I don't think there's a genre that I really can say I don't like anything from that genre. But growing up, yeah, my parents listened to country music all the time, and, you know, it just rubs off, and I was a huge fan of country, and I would definitely be back in the day, at a Tower Records or a Sam Goody, you know, picking up these cassettes. These are from around mid to late 90s, early. I think the earliest was, or the latest, I should say, was 2000. I was reviewing the cassette. That Madonna one was actually a fake. It was remade, so I shouldn't have bought that. But everything was $3 for $1, so I'll definitely make some money on all this. Cassettes, you know, vintage media doesn't really go for that much. It's not crazy. A lot of people price it up, or they buy it thinking it's worth a lot, but, you know, it's not really there. There's, you know, there are some bolos out there that are good and that will bring good money. You know, everybody knows about the Cars VHS. If you get that one, it's a few $1,000s. But most of the stuff isn't really crazy. You guys saw those Star Trek ones I purchased. I think I purchased the Star Trek ones from this guy. Those are actually selling. Those are selling pretty well. They're not selling for a bunch. About $5 a piece. But they are selling. They are moving. Some PC games as well too mixed up in here from that era as well. The Warcraft is super popular. I wouldn't buy necessarily the game itself, not really worth it. But if you get any box or collector sets, even if they're sealed, that would be amazing. But if you find any World of Warcraft box sets, collector's editions, and they are complete, even used, I would definitely pick those up for the right price. The right price for me is like $10 or less. If they're brand new, they could be worth quite a bit, so there might be some negotiation there. Check your comps, what they're currently going for. But World of Warcraft is one of those titles that's consistently a good seller if you get like the collector's editions, if you get special edition stuff. It's a great name in the gaming world, and there's always a buyer for World of Warcraft stuff. I mean, you could probably sell even the used games, but it wouldn't be that profitable. I'd probably get a good price right here, but I'm going after the sealed stuff and unique PC games like this Alice game, which I think is a take on, I'm pretty sure it's a take on Alice in Wonderland horror type of video game. Never played it before, but it's from '99, I think. But looks complete. I didn't notice my competition over there. I didn't notice he was even around. Diablo 2 is another great game, great title, not as well known as World of Warcraft. But again, you know, just the basic game, just because they made so many of them, it's probably worth it to buy it here. He'd probably give me a great deal on it. But it would be a low profit item, and but if you find any collector sets, anything sealed, if the brand new game was still sealed in there, oh yeah, definitely, that's a definite pickup. But it wasn't sealed. Yeah, anything sealed is in the video game world is worth looking up, especially console games. But even in PC games, if they're still sealed, look them up. This guy's some good stuff. He's had some great stuff as of late, so I may, you know, add this into my rotation of vendors I stop at, really no matter what, because usually I'm glancing. I'm just kind of passing by. I'm glancing to see if anything's going to draw me in. And but with vendors that routinely get good stuff, I will, you know, I'll go check out their stuff no matter what, whether they draw me in or not, just because I have a history of buying great stuff there, or good stuff. They're great or good stuff there, however you define great or good. If I have a history of buying stuff from them, I will typically, you know, spend more time at their booth, dig through the items that they have, because of the history. Because I'm buying stuff from them. Because I'm buying stuff from him. I've been buying stuff from him now for a few trips. So looking pretty good. Lots of comics there. I did look at the comics. He's been bringing those same comics back over and over again. They're not like, they're kind of just generic, more modern comics. Nothing that great. I'm pretty sure he'd offer a good deal if I bought the whole lot, and you know, if you bought every box there, you might be able to make some good money on it. But you know, when I was younger, I like comics. I read comics, but I wasn't much of a comic collector when I was younger. So, you know, I usually read them, and then that would be it. I wasn't much into the collecting. So, which is why it probably doesn't really appeal to me right now. We're still at the same vendor, just moved over a little bit. More newer stuff here. There's squirrels running around. There's squirrels everywhere. So I'm on the opposite side. This is more the newer stuff. As you see, all the newer toys over there. Typically, you know, they cost a little bit more when you're buying them. But you can get a great deal on a lot of the new toys that are there. Bunch of gaming stuff here, but nothing that I felt like I really wanted to test out, or... Yeah, because you got to test all this stuff, and I don't necessarily have all the consoles. I have like a PS2, I have a PS2, Xbox 360. I have GameCube connections, but I don't have a GameCube anymore. I ended up selling it. So, for the controllers, I would want to test them out, clean them up, but I just didn't feel like cleaning them up. And I was already getting a bunch of great cassettes over here. So, sealed cassettes too, so that's even better. Anything sealed, vintage, dead stock is the term we use.
Thank you very much.
As you can see, this guy has a lot of spaces. I mean, I don't know, what is that, 5 spaces there? So, and each space costs money. So each space, I'm not sure what it costs during the week. I know on Sundays it's pretty pricey. I think it's like $35. I spotted this. I was walking away. Star Wars, of course. It's the Empire Strikes Back told like for radio. Oh, it's on cassette too, and all the cassettes were there. Not a huge like money maker. We're not getting rich off of that Star Wars. Probably like 20-25 bucks. But I ended up getting it for $3, so. We're going to take a walk down the aisles. See, there's still great stuff. Even on days where there's not so many vendors out, there's still great stuff. I'm going to scan this guy. I think I've one thing from him before. Nothing really crazy. Oh, from that previous vendor, I ended up buying a couple of hats. I didn't get it on camera, and I don't think I put it in the recap, unfortunately. But you saw the hats in the video, the Top Gun. There was also like an orange hunting hat that I bought. And those were $3 a piece, so that should be like $15 each. Spotting this like gamepad thing. It has Mad Catz for the PlayStation. I believe this is probably for the PlayStation 2. But it was pretty dirty, and I didn't really feel like dealing with it. But I'm going to scan it just to be sure. Make sure there's nothing rare. Make sure there's nothing you know, of any value. Rare doesn't necessarily mean value. So, you know, a lot of people think, oh, it's super rare, so it must be value. That doesn't mean anything. It just means maybe nobody wants it. That's why it's so rare. Nobody wants that item. Which is why you don't see people listing it, or, you know, when you scan it, you know, nothing comes up, and you think, oh man, I got a great item here, but it could be that everyone's already tried to list it and sell it, and it failed. So, don't pick it up. We're going to take a stroll here. Oh, get past these empty stalls. Takes a while to get used to at this flea market. Easier on these slower days for because you can kind of see where, you know, where all the, you know, the different lines and where people set up. On a Sunday when all these stalls are completely filled, it's a giant maze. You can get lost. I get lost too, even though I've been here for so many even though I come here all the time. On Sundays there's just so much activity that it's easy to get lost in the sea of vendors and buyers. Nothing really here. There's a guy, looks like a father and son that I'm looking out for. They're not here all the time. They typically come during the week, and they come usually once every 3 weeks. Although I've seen them consecutive weeks before, so they're usually right here in this area. So I'm looking out for them because they usually have great stuff. And I usually pick up a lot of Lemax stuff from them, which I just sold a Christmas little Lemax. Two guys by a fire, or hanging out by a couple hanging out by a fire. Oh, this guy right here, he knows I buy he knows I buy a lot of tech stuff, so he was showing me some hard drives that he picked up. But these are pretty old. I wouldn't. These are IDE. They use like a parallel connection, ribbon connection for them. Those hard drives don't really go for that much. Those older style ribbon parallel port connectors. So I wouldn't recommend buying them. And I really, really wouldn't recommend buying hard drives unless they're brand new. And if they're brand new, anybody could sell a brand new hard. Just look up look it up. If it's brand new sealed, even if it's sealed in the because typically hard drives and/or electronics will be sealed like in a static-proof bag, like a silvery bag. If it's still sealed in the bag, that's still new. It might not have the box, and typically you can kind of read through it, so you can kind of get all the details on the sticker. But if it's still sealed in the silver anti-static bag, it's still new. That's some purses, some playing cards on the bottom. I still have all those magic cards that I bought from the flea market a couple of trips ago, I believe, that I still need to go through. I've already made my money back on all that, and those. I already paid for those magic cards already with stuff I bought already and sold. So I'm not in a rush, and magic cards aren't something that really go out of style. Those are older ones, not quite from when Magic first came out, but maybe a year or two later. So they're pretty old, vintage, and Magic just has not, it's not something that's, I don't think it's going to go away like Pokemon. I don't think Pokemon's going away either. Yeah, the market may become saturated with those items, but kind of like Disney, the market gets saturated, but people still buy Disney. Prices go down. What you can sell it for goes down. But as long as you're buying for the right price, you can still make money on those things in those saturated markets. And I'm going to talk about, at the end of this video, three brands that you should be on the lookout for when you're out there sourcing. But everything is buy it for the right price. A lot of stuff will sell. Not everything. Not everything doesn't necessarily sell, but I may have said that in the previous video, but not necessarily everything will sell. But most items will sell. But you gotta buy them for the right price. You can't be overspending for your items and expect to make a living out of this. Unless you're going to do like high volume and you don't mind razor thin profits. Keyboards. Good keyboard here. It's a Cooler Master, which is a great brand to look out for. They make all kinds of computer products. It's just a nice gaming computer, compact.
How much on the keyboard?
The price was right. I'm buying it. 8? I buy the keyboard.
I'll do that.
You see a bunch of remotes there. Remotes are definitely something you could resell because a lot of people, they buy electronics and they're missing the remote, or they lose the remote, or they move and they lose the remote.
How much is this guy?
Check out this little mouse. That is pretty cool. It's a mouse, super slim. I really like it.
I've never seen anything like that.
Don't buy this if you're beginning. If you're,
25?
If you're a beginner, if you're just starting out,
All right, perfect.
I'm buying this basically just because I like it. I will try to resell it,
Yeah.
I know.
I get that to my wife.
but
I never use
I
that word.
highly recommend, if you see something like this, there's no sold comps on this. I'm telling you right now, there's no sold comps. There's no listed either. So don't buy this mouse. I am buying it because I like it. I think I can sell it based on my knowledge, on my expertise in technology, computers, and also my store. My store is a more well-seasoned, more mature store, so I could potentially sell it for those reasons. If you're newer or beginning, now with that said, if you're newer or beginning, I would recommend getting items that, that sell, that have a sales history, that are listed and you see solds. You generally want to see more solds than listed. If there's a lot listed, that means there's a lot of competition. And few solds. There's a lot of competition for that item, and there might not be that many people looking for it. So, it's very important that there's a lot of solds, that there are listed, but also that there are solds. And just by glancing at it, you can kind of get a sense of the ratio of solds to listed. Generally, you want more solds than listed, or equal or more. I'm kind of just hanging out right here. That guy, man, I wanted to buy that Michelob sign right there. The guy said I think $7 for it, and the dude was going back and forth. He wasn't sure, so I'm kind of just hanging out. I really don't like anything here except that Michelob sign. And the guy ended up telling him I think like $5 for it, but I didn't want to, some people, and I've seen it before, will jump right in and try to steal a deal. I've seen it before. It happens. I'm not one of those guys. I know the guy really wanted to buy it. He was kind of unsure if it worked or not worked. But, the vendor wants to move things, so he ended up making him a deal he couldn't refuse. The Godfather. And, so the guy ended up buying it. And it's a good buy. It's a really good buy for him. I don't know what the comps are on that, but, beer, signage, and everything, I've sold it before. It sells well. You gotta be able to package it well, though. So, great pickup for this guy. I would have bought it. I would have paid $7, so I would have paid more for it. So,
I'm good.
but it's a cool sign. And as you can see, like, this guy really didn't have too much here on the floor, except for that beer sign, which is why you always gotta, just scan every booth. You never know what people are gonna have. All right. Only two sections of the flea market open today, so it's a quick morning. I didn't spend that. I spent just a little over an hour here. I'm going to go get to some Goodwills right after this. And as a matter of fact, in the next video that's coming up, which I'm doing videos every other day now, so the next video will come out on, this video will be out on Thursday, so Friday, Saturday. So the next video that comes out on Saturday, what is it? My Saturday video, I'm actually run into a YouTuber, pretty big. I mean, in my opinion, I'm a pretty big YouTuber, and this guy gets some great stuff. He's a reseller, gets amazing toy. The toys that this guy pulls, crazy. And I got to chatting with him. I didn't think I would ever run into this guy here. I've run into Matt from Part Time Pickers, but he's local. But this guy here, he's from the other side of the country, basically, to me. And so I was kind of shocked that he was actually here in San Jose, but that'll be in the next video. You'll see me running into him. More products over here, but that's gonna wrap up the flea market here, and we're gonna go into just taking a closer look at the items really quick, and then I'll discuss how to get sales going, what products you should look out for. Top 3, in my opinion. Again, my opinion, top 3. Okay, everybody, welcome to the recap, and let's go ahead and go over the stuff we got, because we did get quite a bit of things. Nothing crazy, nothing like, oh my god, we're gonna make $1 million bucks, but just good stuff that we can put in our store. First and foremost, eBay store, that is. We got this tiny little mouse. You can see it's like a little micro slim mouse. It has a scene of San Francisco in the trolley. It's an optical mouse. You can see the bottom there. That's what bottom of an optical mouse should look like. Left click, right click, up and down, kind of weird. It's just a novelty. It's not for productivity or anything. Little scroll wheel there on the side, USB. But just really cool. I mean, a really cool little mouse. I'm gonna post it for $25 and open offers and see what happens. I didn't. You saw in the video. What did I spend, like $3 on this? So not too much. But it's kind of cool. It's just a cool little piece. It's well made. I'll tell you that. It doesn't feel like some of those cheap mice that you get on Amazon that are more full size, and they're just like lightweight and dirt cheap. This one actually works pretty well. Well made little mouse for your laptop or even tablet nowadays. So that was cool. What else did we get? We got the Cutco knife block. Definitely look out for Cutco knife blocks, that is. Not all knife blocks are created the same. Plus, they're usually weighty. They have quite a bit of weight to them, and they could be a weird size. This was just right. The price was right on it, so hoping to get about $20 on that little knife block, maybe more. We'll see. It is Cutco, so Cutco is a premium name in knives. Look out for the knives. Look out for the. I showed in my last video the scissors, Cutco scissors. You got to get a good pair of scissors, and the Cutco, in my opinion, are probably some of the best scissors. If you can't afford $100-something scissors, you can get any scissors. It works, but eventually get yourself a good set of tools to use in your business. Especially, if you need them. Scissors are going to be needed in every. I use them just to try to ship stuff out, cutting boxes up or whatever. But moving on. You saw me, and my obsession with keyboards. Another keyboard here. This is CM Storm. This is by Cooler Master, very well-known brand name in the computer world, computer building world. They make everywhere from cases to keyboards to mice, power supplies. They make all kinds of stuff, and generally they are good quality products. So if you see Cooler Master, you'll know that it is a good brand. And this was a good mouse. I'm not sure. I think these are. I popped the keycaps off, but I think they're blue. What we call blue switches. They're Cherry MX reds. There's blues. There's browns. Cherry MX and the cherry switches and the blue switches are generally considered the best. It really comes down to what you like, ultimately. And so I think these are the blues because they don't have that. When you press down on them sometimes in the mechanical keyboards, you'll feel that little resistance, and then you press it a little bit more, and they make. This one doesn't, but it's a nice feeling keyboard though. So I like keyboards. I might keep this keyboard. We'll see. It was only $7, so we'll see. I like that it's compact too. So we got the keyboard, and you saw we got a bunch of cassettes. We'll go to the cassettes right now. This was pretty cool. I caught this out of the corner of my eye as I was leaving a booth, but it was Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back. This is the original radio drama. So I'm assuming it's the whole story just on cassette. And there are the cassettes right there. They're all in there. 5 cassettes in total. So pretty good. It's Star Wars. It's you know, it's vintage. It's cassettes. You know, it's everything you want in a product that you're gonna try to sell on eBay. Vintage, Star Wars, which is now Disney, and you have cassettes, media. So then, let me tell you what. I grabbed all these country CDs. These are all mostly country CDs. I grabbed this Superman. This was a used, but I grabbed it used because it was Superman. I was trying to buy only the brand new ones. Let me see. I mean, look at some of this. These are all brand new cassettes. So this is Wade Hayes, country music. Martina McBride. Some of these still have like the Tower Records. And let me tell you something. I was a pretty big country fan growing up. I mean, I like pretty much all genres of music. I don't know. I can't even think of a genre that I maybe don't really like. I don't know. But definitely a country music fan growing up. My parents were into country music. They played it all the time. And let me tell you something. At Tower Records or Sam Goody or wherever you went for your CD, wherever I went for get my, media at that time, I was probably walking out with something like this right here. And these are all brand new. Even some more obscure artists in here from that era. Lila McCann, kind of like kind of came out right around when Leanne Rimes came out. What do you have? Neil McCoy. That's pretty rare. And none of these are like any big hits. But probably about $5 to $7, and I got three. There were 3 for $5, so I don't think you could have gone wrong with that. 3 for $5. So we'll see how that goes. We'll definitely keep updated. Take a look at the shorts. Take a look at my shorts because that's where I'll post most of my stuff that's sold because it's quick and easy for me to do a quick 15-second little video. Grab some PC games. These were sealed. This one, or not, they weren't all sealed. This one was sealed. Septerra Core. I don't know really what that is. Never played it before. Yeah, I was more into like Dune and Dune the movie. I did like Dune the movie. Doom, Half-Life. Then once we got to the 2000s, like Battlefield and everything, and all the major names, But I did play some obscure titles. One of my favorite games was called Free Space. It was basically just you were in a plane. You're in not a plane, but a spaceship, and you were shooting down invading aliens. So that was one of my favorite games. 90, I forgot when it came out. 97, maybe 96, 97, 96, maybe. But that was one of my favorite games growing up, playing on the computer, because I went from Atari. So I'm not really a huge video game guy, and as far as video games, I mean console games, because growing up, it went from Atari, we went to Nintendo Entertainment System, the original NES, then we went to Sega Genesis, and after that, it was PC games. So PC games after that. But I'm not familiar with any of these ones. But this one here is probably about a $30 game. It is sealed in there still. And then this one here is it looks like a take on Alice in Wonderland of some kind. Maybe more like a horror type of version. But this is like $20 here. Both it comes with two discs. So then the one obscure thing I bought, which I didn't spend too much on, and the only reason why I bought it was because I got these Carhartt overalls, which Carhartt is a brand to look out for if you're a clothing person or if you want to do clothing. Definitely look out for Carhartt. People tend to, overalls. I'm not going to be able to get it all inside the frame, but let's see, Carhartt. There's some overalls. They have Carhartt all over the little buttons. And it's in great condition. Now, everything at that booth where I got these, reeked of smoke, cigarette smoke. These luckily did not, so I was kind of lucked out. I know someone had grabbed a bunch of Hello Kitty stuff, but I mean, even just the hard good stuff, oh man. Let me tell you something. if you're buying anything from don't buy anything from a smoker's house. Trust me, it gets into every single thing. Not just clothing. It'll get into hard goods. It will get into the mugs too. I mean, so I bought these mugs not a while ago, like a year and a half ago, and even those things reeked of smoke. I'm like, oh my goodness! Like, how in the world does this stuff just penetrate everything? And I guess if it's long-term exposure, I guess that smoke, that smell is just gonna linger in anything that was around that it was in contact with. So if it smells of smoke or smoke, don't buy it. Don't try to rescue it. It's done, and nobody really is gonna want it. But these, luckily, and I was kind of like I was trying to sniff them out. I was trying to see maybe there was something in there. I was trying to give myself a reason not to buy it, but they don't smell. And I tested it, got it home, they don't smell. So, pretty good. I don't know. I think maybe metal is probably the only thing. Maybe the scent doesn't penetrate. I don't know. But even no matter how much you wash the clothes, if it's been exposed to smoke for a long time, that smell is not coming out. Let me tell you. And if people with sensitive nose, they'll be able to pick up even if you try to put a bunch of like those little scent beads in the wash and everything, they'll still be able to pick up on the smell, because I can. And I've tried to wash out smoke from clothing, from stuffed animals, and trust me, I can still smell it even after several washes. So don't do it. Don't do it. No matter how much you think it's worth. I mean, unless it's like a one-of-a-kind item and it's worth $1 million, then I might try. Okay. Then I bought these. I bought all these coins. And the reason why I bought the coins is because I'm getting the Carhartt. And the Carhartt is like $50 to $60 for those Carhartt overalls. These are... And I'm kind of like a sucker for anything vintage tech. Anything that is, from the 90s, early 2000s. Now, this isn't necessarily tech, but it's from Intel Recognition Buck. And there are some listed, nothing sold. I'm gonna list them 5 for $10, I think. Is what I'll do. I'll do 5 for $10. I think some people have them listed like $5 for one. So I'll try to beat them out because I have a whole bunch here. And just because nothing's selling, so I'll see if I can appeal to someone. Look at that. Pretty cool, but it was a whole bunch of them in there. The whole baggie full of them. So got quite a bit. If they do all sell for $10 for 5, that'd be pretty good. A sweet profit. I have this hat too over here that I actually just listed. I've had it sitting around for a while. Been wearing it, but I'm probably gonna sell it. But this is like an old Rhombus, an old company. From back in the day, they tried to innovate and didn't really catch on, but they have a lot of, good tech that they license out, so they're still around. But, as I got a bunch of, quite a bit here, that will keep me busy listing, and I need to list. My piles of stuff are growing, because of these little trips I'm making, and things are just adding on top of other things. So that's good. It's always good to have inventory that you need to list, because sometimes you're not going to be able to find inventory. And you've seen in some of these videos, if you devote a day to one Goodwill and there's nothing there, that could be the whole day lost. So whenever you can buy more, I recommend buying more if you can. Okay. So that was that's pretty much the haul. I definitely have a lot more cassettes here. All these things are going to get listed, but not bad. Nothing that's going to be crazy. So what I wanted to talk about, and I put down a few little notes really quick, because the last time I was talking about stuff, I kind of lost my train of thought. So what I want to talk about is about slow sales, because I'm still seeing a lot of people having problems with slow sales. Okay, even people that are seasoned, well-seasoned sellers. At least they say they're well-seasoned. I really don't know. You guys don't know really anything about me. I'm not, I could not be telling you everything. I could be telling you, I could be telling you nothing, or I could be telling you everything. Who knows? You don't know. You're just seeing the YouTube video, and we're just watching other people on YouTube. I hope that you guys can kind of see the... And my goal is to hopefully show you guys just the real side of reselling, not necessarily just the highlights. The highlights are great because then you see like what people, you see like, the big items, GPS, it goes for like 50, 60 bucks. Then you kind of get a sense of what to look for, and I know some people have been, not talking bad, but kind of discouraging the people from chasing bolos. I just say bolos, be on the lookout for, big, usually heavy hitting items, things that go for quite a bit of money, like these dunks, they're like $100, which is pretty good profit. You just can't create a business around it. You have to be able to, unless you're just finding bolo like 5 to 10 bolos every single day that you go out sourcing, but that's not the case. That doesn't happen all the time. You gotta supplement those bigger hits with smaller 15, like I said, like what I shoot for is $15 to $20 profit items, and then you get those big bolos once in a while. So I definitely like watching the videos where people just showcase the highlights and the bolos. Just gives me an idea of what to look for. Does it create a environment where everybody starts looking for those? Yeah, sure it does. I've definitely noticed it. But if it's for instance, like if all of a sudden everybody's going to go look for these dunks, there's probably way more out there than what's currently listed on eBay. But if people start flooding the market, yeah, the value is going to go down because supply and demand. But am I still going to make a good profit on this? Sure. If I sell it for less than $100, yeah, I'm still going to make good money on it. Profit's profit. But slow sales. If you're experiencing slow sales right now, and this applies to anybody. Doesn't matter who you are, beginner, middle, been doing it for a little while, been doing it for a long time. We all need to learn. I've talked about that before. We all need to learn. You try to learn from everybody in the community, okay? Now, what I do, one thing I personally do is I start listing Legos. I do sell a lot of toys and collectibles. Some toys I buy collect, some toys I buy to sell. Some I sell to supplement my or to pay for my collecting habit. But one thing I do, I'm going to talk about 3 specifically, but one of the big ones that I use to boost my sales are Legos. Now, Legos I buy and I usually hold them either for my collection. I'll show you one for my collection. I'll show you one that I will eventually sell. And I'll tell you the reason why, too. So I'll buy them. Now, when you buy Legos, loose pieces, generally I will stay away from because it's a lot of work. They will sell. Usually if you find like a bunch of the plates, people like the flat plates a lot when building sets, building cities or whatever, like these guys right here. These are pretty good. These tend to, bring a bit of a premium. So if you do find a bunch of these really cheap, you could probably lock these all together and sell them for pretty good money. Or you can do what I do. I hold on to them. I'm going to collect these. I'm going to get some more, build them up. And I'm going to keep them like a savings account. Okay? Legos historically hold their value. And some of them go up. And some of them go up quite a bit. I have some sets and some minifigures which I purchased at the time. And most famously, I did sell one minifigure, which I don't usually sell too many minifigures. I sold a Star Wars Yoda minifigure. I sold during the pandemic. Like I said, I'm a computer gamer. So I was trying to get the latest graphics cards. But as you know, or may not know, during the time of the pandemic, Bitcoin mining was just crazy, causing computer prices to skyrocket. And I couldn't get the latest video cards. So I needed to raise some I don't know. I just have this sense that you know, if I'm buying something for myself, I kind of want to, you know, kind of sell something to pay for it. You know, I know a lot of people do those challenges. You know, I'm trying to. One guy I watched, Phoenix Resale, he does. You know, he's doing a Switch challenge, so none of the money's gonna come out of his pocket. It has to come from what he's gonna resell. Kind of the same premise. So, you know, I just always have this thing, if I'm going to buy something, especially a big item, I want to be able to sell something that's just sitting around the house or something in my collection to be able to pay for that. So I ended up selling a little Yoda minifigure, but it was incredibly rare. It was from it's from New York City. It was only sold at the Toys R Us in New York City during the release of the Ultimate Collector's Edition, the original Ultimate Collector's Edition, X-Wing, Luke's X-Wing, and then that you would get the little Yoda. Incredibly rare. I think they only made like maybe about 1,000 of them, and I had it in my collection. And during the pandemic, I really wanted to get the latest graphics card, and so I ended up selling it. I sold it for about. I purchased it originally because I didn't go to New York to get it. I had to buy it on eBay. Purchased it originally for $80. Sold it during the pandemic for actually close to I think it was like $860. So Legos not just hold their value, some of them just take off in value depending upon the rarity. One of the most rarest minifigures is Mr. Gold. I forget what series. He was in the Lego releases little minifigure series in blind bags. I forget what series he was from, but the name, look it up, Google it. Mr. Gold, Lego. He's just an all gold, not real gold, but painted gold. Minifigure with a top hat, incredibly rare. I recently, I haven't really looked recently, but I know they don't come up very often for sale. So insanely rare figures. So some of them take off in value, some of them, you know, kind of maintain value. They may go up a little bit as they get retired. Now, let me show you a couple of sets here that I have currently in my inventory. First and foremost, I will show you this one here. This is the Space Shuttle. I mean, you guys see it? I can't. Is it in the frame? There we go. Lego Space Shuttle. Brand new in the box. Really cool set. Will I build this set? I'm not sure how many sets I have right now, so I might not even get to this set. So it's going to remain in the box for the time being. Is the price tag still on here? How much I paid for it? I forget how much I paid for it. I didn't pay a full price for this. I'll tell you that right now. I'm just taking off the price tag. But I'll tell you right now, I didn't pay a full price for this. But it is the really cool set. It goes for well over $100. I think $199 or $250 at Target. Not 100% sure. But brand new in the box. Now, this one, unless I build it, I'm going to keep it new in the box. I'm not going to break the seal or anything. Okay. Now, this other set is probably going to remain in my collection. And I may open this box. This one I paid $100 for. This is the I got this from Goodwill. Sealed in the box. Brand new. This is the Indiana Jones. Is it in frame? I get it there? Yeah. Indiana Jones from Raiders of the Lost Ark. So this one will probably stay in my collection. And the reason why this one will stay in my collection is because of the minifigures. See the minifigures there? And that's what I collect. I primarily collect the minifigures, although I do like to build the sets from time to time and display them. But then I'll kind of get tired of it and then either sell them off or put them away in my collection. But I collect the minifigures, so that's one of the reasons why I'm going to more than likely keep this set. The other set does not come with minifigures, but if I were to open this or open any of the bags or start building it and then try to sell it after I start it, the value will decrease quite a bit. It will still, be worth a lot if I keep some of the bags sealed. But brand new in the box, this has no minifigures in it, so not as super desirable if it, as if it were to have minifigures in it. So, in order to keep its value, I'm going to keep it sealed in the box. Because a lot of these pieces, you can buy all these pieces and assemble it yourself. It'll be a pain in the butt, but it could be done. I don't know. I don't think there's necessarily any unique pieces. Maybe the I'm not sure if that's a sticker plate, or if that's a sticker, or if that's a plate. That's definitely probably unique to this set only. But you can go buy all the pieces and put this together on your own. But pretty sure. I don't think there's. I'm not sure if there's anything unique about any of the pieces in here except for that plate, that nameplate thing, or if it's a sticker. I'm not sure. But if I keep this still in the box, it will hold its value even more, and it may go up in value once they retire this set. So I'm going to hold on to this. And if you're in a position to hold on to Lego specifically, do it. Save it, and if you run into a slow patch, bring it out, and you can sell it. But Legos historically have always held their value, and there's always a market for Legos historically. That could change, that could change, but just based on how long I've been collecting Legos for, based on now I haven't always, I've always, bought Legos, sold Legos, held on to Legos, but I've only recently started collecting the minifigures in the last like 8 to 10 years, so it could change, but historically, generally a good buy, and I hold on to them, and they generally sell fast. Even though there's a lot of Legos out there, you search for Legos. There's tons of Legos out there, tons of minifigures out there. Probably some of the same ones I have, probably some of the same ones you have, but they still sell, and they sell well. I just sold that Star Wars Jedi Plume. What's his last name? I forget his name, but he has like it kind of looks like he has sunglasses on. Plume Clune, I think. Plume Coon, I think is his name. Bunch of them out there. I just sold it. $15. Little tiny minifigure. Cost almost nothing to ship. Very little to ship. I probably could send it with a stamp. But it was a great sale. $15 for that guy. Not bad, but I didn't pay that much overall for him. Again, a lot of it counts on your buy-in cost. How much you're paying for these items. So if you're buying bulk Legos, try to get it as low as possible. And make sure there's minifigures in the bulk Lego buy. Always confirm there's minifigures in there. Don't take anybody's word for it. If you're buying whole sets, you're a little more safer because the sets are sealed. You'll probably pay up a little bit more, but trust me, if you can hold on to them, if you need to sell them quick, try to buy them low. If you can buy them and hold on to them, and they're still a good price, and you buy them for a good price, hold on to them. They will go up in value, or at least they will hold their value. And then when you really need to sell them, you can sell them and make some money on them. Hopefully make some money on them. Okay, a couple of sets. That's enough with Legos. You can tell I'm a Lego collector. The other thing too is I was trying to find if I had it. I don't feel like opening up my computer right now, but I do sell a lot of computer parts. And some of the computer parts I sell are vintage computer parts. You need to be able to test it. I recommend not doing it unless you know what you're doing. You could try to sell them for parts only, just buy them and visually inspect them, and if they look clean enough, you could sell it for parts and look it up, look at the comps, see what those are. It could be worth it for you. But I was going to say not necessarily, not just computer parts, but actually video cards sell incredibly well. The market is down a little bit, but they still sell. They still sell. They're not selling for as much as they used to. Some brands tend to go for more than others. NVIDIA tends to go for more than AMD. If you're going vintage, AMD cards used to be known by ATI. So do look out for it. But they look like this, okay? This isn't a video card. But they kind of look like this here. So they'll have a little thing here. They'll have like a HDMI usually and a couple of display ports on the back. They'll generally be bigger than this. They'll have like some fans on it or something. They'll have this connector will be a lot longer than that. But generally, just so you get a sense of what it kind of looks like, this is what it'll look like here. But video cards do incredibly well for me. Every time I get them, they usually just sell quick. Again, buy low, sell high. When it comes to video cards, sometimes if they're higher end video cards, even if they don't even work, they'll sell. Some people use the parts. Some people Some higher end video cards, you know, people will buy them even if they don't work, so that way they can take it apart, and use some of the components that are on board. If you want to sell it for parts to get maximum money, though, is working graphics cards. Working graphics cards sell. They sell incredibly well. They generally, you know, there's not really an on-season, off-season. People are always buying them. People need them. I'm a gamer. I used to build gaming computers. I still build gaming computers, but I used to build them and sell them right before the pandemic. And so video cards are, you know, essential to a PC gamer's life. There's more stuff to life, but I'm gonna tell you, video card is like gold to a PC gamer. So they sell well. They'll sell if you price them right, get them for the right price. If you list them for the right price, check sold comps, they will sell very well. Now, another thing that sells well, but the market's kind of flooded, is Disney products. I just sold several Disney items recently, so I didn't feel like going all into my inventory, digging around. I have a few more Disney things, but they tend to sell pretty well. But this is a Disney watch I actually just picked up. This is from Disneyland Paris. But either way, Disneyland, you see on there, it says Disney on the bottom down there, Disneyland Paris. That comes into focus. But Disney is a great brand to buy. The problem is the market is flooded with a lot of Disney stuff. And not all Disney is really high value. People think Disney stuff is high value, but it's not incredibly valuable. Wait a second, I do have a Disney. I was just looking at I have a popcorn bucket sitting right up there that is not for sale, but I have a popcorn bucket right here. I do have Disney things still hanging around. Disney products will garner a lot of attention for your store. They might not sell for what you think they might sell for, or what you're going to buy it, or what people selling it to you think it's going to sell for. Because it's Disney, people tend to price it up. But if you can get it for the right price, Disney at the Goodwill they price them high. So I would recommend buying Disney products, especially if you can buy them in big lots. Flea market or at garage sales. Garage sales, I've had the most success finding Disney products and getting them for really good prices. And especially if you get stuff from like the Disney parks, they will usually say Disney parks on it. This is a popcorn bucket. This is a limited edition. This is actually an annual pass holders bucket. So you had to be an annual pass holder to have gotten this. I don't know if it'll come out in the camera there, but it has AP on it. We used to be annual pass holders until the pandemic. We are no longer. But there are some perks. You get to spend more money. Basically, is what it is. You get to spend more money on exclusive merch from Disneyland. But Disneyland collectors, Disneyland fans are, huge buyers, and they will spend. It's just not all Disney stuff is really worth it, and it depends how much you buy it for too as well. Don't pay too much for it. That's why I say go to flea markets, go to garage sales. Best places to find Disney merch. Get it for as low as you can. Check your comps and put it in your store. Trust me, it will sell. Same thing for Legos. If you price them right, which means you're going to have to buy them at the right price so you can make a good profit, they will sell. Video cards, if you want to dive into the world of electronic, even beyond electronic, computer components, my recommendation is, watch some computer people on YouTube, get to know it. Maybe just, buy a computer. That's how I started in the 90s. Just take apart electronics, take apart computers. But even if you just want to sell it for parts, my recommendation is if you find any graphics cards out there, look to see what it goes for parts, not working. If you can test it eventually, you get more money, but pay as little as possible. That's my recommendation. Pay low. Buy low, sell high. Those are 3 things, 3 brands that you possibly... And don't forget, Disney is also Star Wars. Disney is also Marvel. And those are huge names. They'll garner lots of attention to your store. It'll drive traffic to your store because people are, there's lots of Disney fans. There's lots of Star Wars fans. There's lots of Marvel fans. So when you put those keywords in there, it's going to start attracting attention, and hopefully it'll attract buyers. And if they see, hey, that guy has that. What else does he have in his store? Or what else? They have a graphics card. They have graphics. Let me see what else she has. What else she has listed. Or does she have other graphic stuff in her car? What other because you need a lot more for to you get that you need a power supply and all that. Maybe you have a power supply in your store. They'll buy the video card and they'll get a power supply too. Who knows? Okay, but trying to get sales. I mean, anybody that's in any business, doesn't matter where you're selling stuff. The goal is to try to get sales. And for eBay resellers, any resellers for that matter, I primarily focus on eBay on this channel. But look out for Disney. Look out for Legos. Look out for video cards. Video card, like I said, the big players in the video card market, NVIDIA and AMD. Otherwise, guys, I've been talking for a long time, and that's going to be the end of the video. Thank you to the new subscribers. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this content helps you. Let me know if you have any questions. Leave comments down below. Let me know your guys' experiences with Disney Legos or video cards or any of the things I featured here. Are you guys country music fans? If you saw these cassettes, would you pick them up brand new sealed? I did. See you guys next video.